retro fans. Epic tunage there. Doing some more ZX next, of course. Just trying to figure out if I've got it in 720p still. No, 1080, that's good. Epic Terminator 2 remix. I like that, it's got a real 80s vibe. Leave it running for a little short blast. What we're looking at here is some work I've done overnight. Oh, it's not showing, that's not helpful. Let's close it and open it. So, still not showing, okay. Huh. One sec, I'll sort this out. There we go. I'm still calling it Spooky Platformer, but I'm about to take a copy of this and call it Caveman Ninja instead, because I've ripped the graphics out of that. And I don't know if you've been looking at GitHub, but I've been fiddling around with layer 2 and I've got the hang of it. So I'll show you what I've managed to do. I was just doing the clipping. You see how annoying it is on the side there where the tile map's getting clipped on the right hand side. There's 1 pixel difference. And I can't seem to figure out if this is my clipping. If I put it to 5.6, it's going to be 1 pixel too much. I'm pretty sure it gets doubled because of the way Tile Map 2 works in 320 width mode. So I'm trying to debate whether I prefer that or 1 too few pixels, which I decided I think I prefer. What I would absolutely love is to be able to zoom the screen to actually crop that overscan. But I don't think we can do that. Maybe. Nah, I don't think so. But I was just about thinking as well about the that's gonna finish now. Okay, I'll let that finish. Yeah, I was just thinking about the collision detection. No, there's no getting around it. I was going to say we could use meta tiles. Well, perhaps we can. So here's our meta tiles. And if we look in, I've still got the art program open. What I've done is I've created a little overlay just to stop any confusion now of what number super tile we're dealing with. And I'm using black as the background as well. Seems to work. There's no black anywhere else on the picture, which is fine then. So they were probably doing the same thing, I guess. I don't know. Now, if you think about it, we're not using that many tiles now. Most of them are 0. And then there's a background layer, which is an image. Hello, Micro. Hello, mate. Thanks for saying hello, yeah. I've made quite a bit of progress. I'm sure you've probably seen it, unless you've been busy. So forget these ones over this side. We're only using this tiny few. But could we make it so that Hmm. No, because he's going to walk on thin air if we do that. So we really do need to peek inside the meta tiles to find out what exact tile we're looking at, unfortunately. And we want to make that and that solid. And that. Unless... Oh, unless... Could we... We could probably get away with using that and that as solids. And then we only check for hitting a solid when we're moving down. That could work, you know. That would save a lot of coding. Although with the extra coding, we would be able to go right into detail and make it just that, you know. And then you'd fall off when you get to there. But no, I'm going to do it. We're going to have... So basically, super tile 17 and 19 are the solids. It's going to be... Let's try it on that basis for now. Yeah, I hope you're having a good day, Micro. I'm the same as usual. I'm happy actually because I've done a bit of gaming today. I was been asking for for a couple of weeks off for ages, and they never give it. So I ended up saying I was feeling ill, and then they've said I can have the week off. So it's better than nothing. So I'm going to hopefully get a lot of gaming and coding done. I'm rabbiting away. I've completely forgotten what tiles we were. Oh yeah, 17 and 19 are the solid tiles. Let's have another look at this. Yeah, you see, because the stone ones can't be solid. We want to walk past them. We don't want to land on them. So therefore, yes, just 17 and 19. Meta solids. So there's a way of using this routine that Emook help us wrote with CPIR in it. And as far as I know, we'll load HL there with meta solids. It's going to do the check. Only two of them now, right now. And the Z flag will be set if this is true, if it hits one. Cool, man, cool. I never get enough time to watch any videos anymore. I went from one extreme to the other because I used to watch quite a lot. But really, I was just vegging out watching people game, actually, more than anything. Or a bit of Tetris a lot of the time. But I haven't watched it for ages. I know the World Championships is going on in Tetris right now, but it's not the same when they can't go there and play it on the stage and that. Yeah, so apparently, I've never tested it, but we can call that And the Z flag will be set, I believe. I certainly am going to have some 64 times, but not right away, micro, because I'm still learning this. And I made a massive jump. You know, when I signed out yesterday, just immediately I turned on a TV show, some rubbish. Did you? Yeah, nice. That's brilliant. Yeah, yeah. I literally switched on a TV show and just started hacking away at it. And I thought, you know what? Let's do layer 2. And it's really, really simple. This clip tiles is a macro. Very simple. It just does that. So it's just like writing load A4 and then calling that next reg. Could have probably made a loop if we really wanted to. The macro works perfectly though, doesn't it? And then I just went reading through that documentation, and I was about to give up, but I found this for setting it into that widescreen mode, for want of a better word, the full screen. And that's how simple it is now. Look at that. Very, very easy. This has to be half because it's something to do with the 16K banks. So the page number has to be halved. So you notice down here I put it at 40. And I did have to use that N. At first I wasn't using that and it didn't work. But now it works like a treat. Yeah. But if you notice as well, I've had to crop it. Because if I don't... I mean, don't worry about the left side. And we can't scroll, unfortunately. But the level should be... You know, it's been cropped there. There's more grass to show. So without the clip tiles, without the clip layer 2... Oh, God. Oh, you have to do clip layer 2 to get it to the right size. But if I was going to do the full screen... Yeah, that's what it looks like. And that's going to bugger our scrolling routine up. We could do the same thing on the tiles here. I'm not quite sure why it's 155. Interesting that they're both the same. Because this has been like turned on its side. Oh well. I wonder if you change that to 255, what happens? Yeah, so that's what it would look like, but that's going to bugger up when we scroll. What'll happen is you'll scroll towards that side of the screen and it'll be blank and then suddenly get filled in. Hence the clip. We'll do the same here. Yeah, so you notice that it's scrolling as well. But I actually need to make this a word. There's actually 9 bits again. I was going to try and do that actually. Let's do that first. It's nice, relaxed. Though. Oh, yeah. So that'd be L. I don't know if you can actually do that or not. But we also need to do where the I need to go and remember where the bit 8, you know, the 9th bit for that is. It's in a completely different register. I knew it last night, but I've forgotten it. So it's the layer 2 most significant bit of the X offset is what I'm looking for. Unfortunately, they don't put it in the documentation. Like, if you're in the right one, it gives you a link to the rest of it. If you're in the one with only the high bit, but not the other way around, sadly. Oh yes, it does. The 9th most significant bit of the scroll is layer 2 offset MSB register 7-1. So I believe we can just do next reg 7-1 H. Make this a word. I guess we need to check if it goes over 320 now. Not sure what happened. Oh, we have an error anyway. So you can't do next reg L. That's working perfectly. Look at that. I'm on a roll already. Oh no, it jumped. Yeah, it does jump. I wonder if it's if it is possible to do that. That did seem. Whoa! Thanks, Specky Nut. How you doing, my man? I didn't see your messages until a second ago. I was too busy. Missed all your messages. It does look pretty, doesn't it? Moving along. Setting next wedges properly. Tiles. Let me shrink down this chat box so I can put it somewhere I can see it, because I missed all them. For now I can close GIMP. Yeah, so do you know what? Let's leave the scrolling for now. Just doing how it is. Close the GIMP. Wake him up later. Yeah, let's just live with the scrolling. There was another thing I wanted to do. Collision. And like I said, we're going to just do... you were going to actually use meta tiles for the collision. But we're going to have to adjust what we've done slightly, because when we look through the map, we're doing it... You know, this represents 2 cells. But it still only represents 1 meta tile. Perhaps we could start thinking about the player as a meta tile as well, in size. Yeah, that might work. So scrolling is going to be another really horrible one to fix. Where was the collision? Was it in the player? Oh right, I've just deleted it all. Commented it out. Yes, the check collision feat was actually like a jumping. That was when we were jumping. Let's call it jumping this time. So I will want that. It's ready comments. Smooth face. Best way. Nice. In this routine here, we were checking in cells. There was no conversion to pixels, but we were using the world player world position as a marker to figure out where we are in the level. Wonder if we can still do that. Shave once a month. Probably the best way. It's like an exponential thing, isn't it? The more you do it, the more you've got to do it. If we take a look at our level again, we'd have to handle player world differently, wouldn't we? World X. Because if we're at world X 10, that's actually only here. Player world X. Do we only use that for the collision? Player world X. Where is that? Here. I wonder, could we just divide it by another 2? Oh. If we were to divide this by 2, would that then tell us it in meta? I think it would, wouldn't it? Might not be as accurate. It might lose some accuracy. If we were to do that though, could we just keep all of this code the same after that? We'd have to change world width to something else. Yeah, what we're doing is just tile map collision. And let me load up the GIMP. Let's bring out the GIMP. So I've gone through the liberty of making little markers so we know exactly what meta tile we're dealing with. I only want this one and this one to be solid, so that when we're walking on the ground, you know, we'll be walking, our foot will be there, basically. Okay. That's similar to what we're doing, yeah. Only we're slightly more advanced with these meta tiles and all that. But yeah, we just want to basically check if it's a 17 or a 19. Okay. Put the gimp away again. But what I'm really asking is, and I'm probably just sort of, like, what's the word? It's a rhetorical question because I've already answered it before I even asked the question. I'm just going to copy it all. This is unnecessary because we only call this from inside the jumping routine. I'll keep it there anyway. We only need one of them right now. Jump collided. Don't know where we ever set that to be false. Must be somewhere stupid. Right, I won't start changing that yet because we'll get to that in a minute. So it's now looking at meta level. Of course, I need to divide that by 2 again. Sounds ints. Oh, interesting. Yeah, okay. I thought you were talking about my sound there. That's basically what we're doing, Specky. Here's the array. And then this routine here checks, and the Z flag will be set if it hits a 17 or a 19 by doing this. And this is untested. I've just been shown how to do this. And I haven't yet put it into practice till now. But it's one thing at a time because I've got to make sure I get the world address right. I actually need to divide it by an extra one because the meta tiles are too wide. This is now in meta tiles, isn't it? Rather than single tiles. I hope. My maths is not that strong, but that's the way I see it. Offset is a bit of a bugger because it's different now. Offset needs to be half the size as well. The thing is, I'm being stupid because I'm trying to keep it in this project and it's causing me problems. Because I've got all this old leftover stuff that I don't really want. View width, right? We have view width meta now. That's what it needs to be. So now offset's sorted. That's fine. F is for floor. That looks so much like it's for float, 0.5 float, because that's how you write something in C#. Yeah. We haven't got floats in this though, have we? That's the only problem. One of the big problems. What I did there was before I added this extra divide. Oh yeah, lucky I looked at that because I need to make that a 0 as well. Yeah, this is getting rounded. Anyway, let's not get bogged down. We've got lots to do. I'm just hoping that works now. Offset's now fixed. View width meta needs to be. And now I believe they're in meta. Add A4. Well, no. It's probably just one now. The player only consists of 2 meta tiles, doesn't he? Or is he just one? He's just one meta tile. I've forgotten how big the player is. Yeah. 16 by 16. That's interesting. So we're checking his whole... This is a bit weird now. I don't like it. But we'll figure it out later. Let's see if it even works. Does anything. World width. Let's just change it to world width divided by 2 for now. Rather than make a new value for it. Probably just stop the velocity, but let's check what we actually did. Quite a lot actually. Alright, so we're setting the we're snapping the position to be the actual world position. So we probably do need to do another one there as well. Don't think that's necessary. Right. Maybe. If we call this wherever we were calling this from. Here. And then we'll just make sure we are in down. Jumping. Down. Might work just now, straight away. Ah, well. We've collided with something. Skywalker. I wonder why that was. I didn't really expect that. It's clearly going into here, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, interestingly, only one time. I like that. That's good. That proves that my code was working, because you don't want to keep doing that when you don't need to. Oh, that's meant to be Z. And also, it's not CP12. Cool, check solid. Now, let's have another look at check solid. Yeah, A is the one we want to load with, I believe, which is what I just did. I don't know a lot about CPIR. Let me look it up. Yeah. I believe, long story short, is A is the correct thing to load and the Z flag will be set if it's true. So I believe that should work. It's collided with something already up here. That looks like the double thing again. Well, it was one of the double things, if you know what I'm saying. Let's just try that. Nope. Okay, here's where the confusion starts. It's probably one thing I had to divide by 2 that I haven't. Calculate world position. Offset is actually 20 right now, so yeah, let's go. I've got my confusion hat on, my dunce hat. I've got to get a dunce hat. I was thinking about it today. Really big one. Might actually make me smarter. Offset. A bloody word offset. It's gonna live with me forever. I'm gonna go and change it. It's cam right now. Is that the best word for it? In fact, cam edge. Oh, I've done. How many times do I do that? I'm insane. Of course, it's gonna. Whoever suggested doing a scorer should be shot. Thing is, I really wanted to just learn all of the abilities of the hardware. So of course I was going to jump straight into the tile map after I'd done the sprites. It's like the logical thing. I've just got to go and fix them namings now. Offset. Alright, well at least it's renamed. Yeah, exactly, Specky, exactly. Because as soon as you figure one thing out, you want to go and add the next thing. To be honest, this what I'm doing right here doesn't have a massive amount to do with the scrolling. Of course, this offset bit where I'm figuring out the world position does. But can you imagine having a game that had to fit on one screen? I know there's flip screen games, but you know, it's like a cop out that because you don't want to scroll it, basically. You know, it's quite hard to think of a game with no scrolling. Yeah, of course you can, man. You mention anything here. Is he really? I was thinking about giving away a next, but they're way too expensive. Yeah, I was thinking about some sort of giveaway. I mean, I'm never lucky with that sort of thing. I don't find it's worth my time. Unless there's like a really good chance. And I don't want to be that guy who just literally pops in, says, add me to the list for the prize, and then leaves. Spectrum forever. Oh yeah, he's huge. He's got loads of followers. But he knows his stuff, that's the thing. Yep. I'll tell you what, when I first got wind of him, he was making a flip screen game for Commodore 64. It looked like it was a single screen game anyway. My favourite is actually that one lone coder guy. He's awesome, I think. He doesn't do assembly, but he knows how to code an assembly. He started out on the Micro, BBC Micro. But he does C++ now, but all sorts of funky stuff with C++. Not just like, not like what I do, where it's just like making the first level of a game over and over again. You'd be surprised though, making the first level of the games. It's like you're over the hump by the time you've done that. You can always go back. You've done more than half the work there, you know. I don't reckon it'd be impossible to make a Game Boy game, Game Boy Color. I bet we're learning some relevant stuff here as well. Start with the second hump. Well, one day I will. I'll get the assets for my game created before I start, and I'll have enough knowledge of how the tile map works and stuff like that, of how exactly I want to lay out the graphics, and it will just be imported when I load up one day, and then that will be the game I see through to completion. Game Boy. It is Z80 based, but I've had a lot of people tell me it's very different. They're probably talking about like the tile map functionality and stuff like that, aren't they? Because back then I was doing the 48K. It was just raw, like poking memory addresses over and over. There was no like hardware to speak of. He sure does, yep. These people you're talking about are the sort of guys I was watching thinking I could be in the middle between these and the complete novices, you know. But I used to watch their channels, not extensively. I'm one of them. As soon as I start watching, I just want to go off and code. I can't sit down and rest. I just wonder why that's doing that though. So this just purely divides by 8 the screen position. Same with this. I can't see that working, but let's try it. Different flavour of Z80. Oh look, yeah, see it even. Oh no, it's still in the same place. Very strange. I'm quite happy with how that seems to me. My logic seems alright to me. If you wanted to know what meta tile you're in, and you only have the screen position, how much would you divide by? I've divided by 16 there. Because I was already dividing by 8 to get it to cells. Ah, I know what it is. It's because we start halfway down. When I draw the map, I forced it to start down there. So we need to somehow add half the map to the collision. Well, it's colliding in a weird spot there though. Oh, that's because it's the top of our player doing it. So that thing I removed also needs fixing. So, in other words, our Y position needs to have at least when we're checking collision. I don't know about when. Do I want to store it like that? Yeah, actually, when we actually just store the value for the world Y here, we actually want to add. Let's just add it as a constant, innit? Oh, that's not right. No, that is definitely wrong. No, it's the number of cells. What am I doing? So half the screen of cells was 8, I think. No, 16 in it. Oh, meta tiles. It's in meta, so it's 8 meta tiles. Yeah, so 8 out of 16 I went for just half. I was trying to compress the level basically. Still no though. Bugger. Alright, go away from that for a second. I'll put the level back to 4,000. And I'll deal with that separately in a minute. So you have to pretend that that line of grass is the actual bottom of the screen for a minute. I want to get his offset correct so he stands on the grass. Oh, I need to look at it again. Yeah, that looks perfect. Where his head is where I want his feet to be. Could be two problems. Could be two problems. Let's check the first one. It's the Spock smiling. So the first one, let's give it a breakpoint. We don't need it right now. First one is going to be where we snap it here. That could be the problem. Let's just go like that. So it's around the same. So that could be one of the problems, but because it's snapping it to the world position. Just try add A1. Again, we're in meta tiles, so that should be like 2 tiles height. Alright, well, it's better. Am I getting confused? Is it not always in meta? See, now it's perfect with 2, but that doesn't make sense. He's only 1 meta tile size. I suppose he's not though, is he? Even though he... that's where I've gone wrong, folks. When I said he's 16 by 16, no, he's not. He's 32 by 32. So that's just a small problem, actually. But that's only a part of the problem fixed. It's funny how... Oh yeah, let's put the snapping back on. This is probably going to make it go all horrible. Where's it gone? Too much code. Oh, the snapping's on. Ideal. So the only bugger thing is that I decided to cut the map in half across the mid, like, you know, sideways, so into 2 halves. Don't know how to describe that. Cut it across the middle. We're only using the bottom half. Calculate. So it's 32. So like I say, 16 meters in height. And we have only used 8. And we've confirmed it's all okay because we've got 8 here and it looks all fine when you draw it. So I'm surprised I didn't have to add it there though. It's weird how it snaps to the right place. Because I add 2 here on the collision. And then I snap the position to be that. So you'd think you'd have to sub 2 to get it to the right place. It's very strange when you actually think about that. But it works, you can see it. So So of course I want to use the bottom half of the screen, and I want to continue doing that. I think it's a nice compression, like optimization, to only use half the screen for the tiles. It looks nice with that background level. I'll probably end up using more, you know. Eventually we want to scroll on the Y as well. Once we do that, we'll have bigger meta tiles. Well, you can have meta tiles, can't you? So you can use the same technique but with a bunch of metas. That still doesn't solve the problem of... I really thought we could just add 8 here. How does that not work? How? Certainly doesn't. It's got to be a story for a game, isn't it? There's got to be a reason why he's a knight. Maybe he can turn into a caveman. I don't know. I find that bizarre. Why can't we just move that down? It's already been divided into meta tiles there, so that's why I'm only adding 8. Just wonder what happens when you add 1. Did it go higher? It's the same, isn't it? I'm just going to run 2 instances and have a look. It is the same. Load APY and FO. Usually the number 1 to 15. Yeah, it was the same. I just tested to check side by side. So that doesn't... That's flipping weird. I find that crazy. It was to do with the snap there. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of the snap in a sec. And get rid of that. Let's see what it looks like. Still looks the same. Now try add 8. No collision. Add 2. Oh, we've gone up. After you and. Always have a number less than 1. No. We won't. We can never have a number less than 1. If we remove that from the equation, this rolls it, it would put it into the high bits. That's why you put the 0 there. I considered that, Specky, but I don't believe so, no. Because when you look, he falls there, no problem, do you know what I mean? But if you notice, yeah, it's gone down now. Hang on. What the hell? Oh, it's insane, that. Is it different to there, and is it to the other, to the 6502? Oh, I must be barking up the wrong tree trying to do this. In that case, yeah, because adding 2, look, that moved us up. If you remember, our head went upwards from doing that. So we actually probably want a sub 8, which is a flipping pain, if that's the case. Watch the accumulator. What, here, yeah? So it's 0, which is what I wanted. It's weird how it's still moving when it's 0. Oh, we've got somewhere else now, haven't we? Right, here we go. It's 8. That was crazy how it didn't change. Oh, that's annoying when you use the breakpoints. You can't jump, you can't do anything. HL's increasing there for whatever reason. So now it's at 8. It hasn't been divided yet. How does it end up at 6? That doesn't make sense. Oh, I'll do it again. You got to step fast here because it's just 0 the whole time. Okay, you see it happening? That's perfect. It's in 1. That's meta tile 1 in height, so it's 2 tiles down, which is perfect. That's where his head is. And then 2. So it's bang on. It's exactly in meta tiles, just as I wanted it. But like I say, I'm just trying to shift it down 8 meta tiles. Shifting it down. Whoa, thanks, Micro Man. Thank you very much, my man. I find it strange that adding moved our player up. Oh yeah, of course we're adding to the world position, so it thinks it's higher than it or lower than it is. It should be that simple, shouldn't it? I've got no snapping at the moment. It's gonna fall straight through the bloody floor. Oh, now it's cut off the bottom of the screen for me. Right, let's try again with the... I guess let's do it before. Let's do it before he falls through the floor. Right. Oh, did I get rid of the breakpoint? I think I did. Just checking it did indeed call that when it's jumping. Where is it? Here. So let's get... Yo, Moz. It is looking pretty. That's what Specky said exactly. Right, so that's where we want to be. Metatile 10. We are getting bogged down in the wrong thing by keep reading that value though, because we've proved it works. It is all about the fact that I skip half the world when I draw the level. Skip the top half. So we get rid of that 8, yeah. Put the level all the way back to the top again. This would what it would be like if we were using a full screen tile map instead of doing the clever, in inverted commas, clever trick of using half. And bang, it's perfect. It's lined up exact. So it really should be a case of just being able to add that height when we do the collision check. Let's move it back down again. Okay, I'll leave it like that this time. Yeah, 10, 1, 0, X. No, but it was 0A, so it was 10. I hope you understand what I'm saying though. Like, the world is 16 high, yeah? 16 metatiles, the screen. But our world, we only use 8. And then I just literally add an offset before I start drawing to the screen memory. I go down halfway through the memory and start drawing the tiles in. So when we're checking it here, perhaps it's that simple. Meta level. No, see, we still want to start at the beginning of the level. Yeah, we want to sub 8 from this at this point. That's what we want to do. The problem if it's less than 8, we want to just get out. So I think this will help us now. So then we want to add 2 here for that offset, but we want to sub 8, so we might as well just sub a 6, innit? There. So I guess we might as well compare 6 rather than 8. That might do it, but then when we snap it, we're going to have to do something similar. Or the inverted version of that. Ah, oh, still no good though. Devastated. I'm getting angry with it. Think about it, right? This is 0, 0 of our tile map. Of our level map. This is 1, this is 2. The map is 80 width, but there's only 40 meta tiles, yeah? So this is only 41. In meta. So when we see our player falling past the halfway point of the screen, he's actually just hit that. But his world position says 8. Let's see what his world position says. Right, he's about halfway now. Oh, let's put the breakpoint in there. I mean, we don't even need to check that value because I can check this value. That's a much easier way. Yeah, here. 8093. Oh, I meant to do it when he fell halfway. Eight 8093. Alrighty, there it is. It really is a good file, that list, man. It really, really is. Now I know how to use it. So we're looking at 5 there. Interesting. Just keep an eye on that. Seven. I think we're onto something with what we just changed. I've just got to go use the toilet. I'll be right back. you you're always cooking, Micro. Nice one. So I just actually visualized it in my head. Like I say, you start at 0 y, you go down 8 meters, then well, you actually, when you go down 8, your head's gonna be here. Oops. Yeah, so he starts at 0. It's this tiny number here we need to be looking at. It's going up just as I expected. Now 2 meta tiles. Why is that only a 5 now though? That's a bit odd. So now we're at 8. And our code says compare 6, return if less than. So now it should be getting to that point. Why doesn't that work? Sometimes you can look at that debugger all day long, but it's not going to tell you the answer. Not when you already know the values that they're going to be. You know, it's like, why isn't it working then? Could be this world width divided by 2. I think it's correct, that. What that's doing is moving down the map this amount of lines. Weld -6. Let's just try -8. Sod it, let's try it. Nope. Oh, what a pain. I'm going to change it back to 6. So Yeah, the reason it was 6 was because we were adding 2. And that makes sense because we want to check his feet. So as soon as his head is at position 6 in meta tiles in height, we're starting to check his feet for collisions. That's what the intention is. Just in case there was a tile going all the way to the top. And this should in theory work. We then load that into D. We load the width of the level in meta into E. We multiply the two. We then add the world. Do we? Probably don't want that anyway. Yeah, so we basically just add the world X. So that's a very straightforward conversion from a 2D array into 1D. It just really bugs me that it works when you. It's only that flipping. Okay, right. So it's hit that that value of 6. So we'll look at that value, and there it is, 6. Seven. It's perfect. Player world. I find that insane, really. Because we do want to subtract 6. Because you imagine it, right? The player's got to position 6, and his feet are just poking into the bottom half of the screen. But we don't want it to be 6 lines down on here. We want it to be at the top line. Bollocks. Oh god, I've lost it. It's a flipping pain. I'm tempted just to copy this whole thing. And now we have to have a whole screen of tiles when we only need half. Then we'd have to change all of this stuff. There should be no need to do that. I'm gonna try doing it in this world bit here. This is more of a test than anything else. Ah. That's a right pain. Ugh. I just want to sub it by 6. That's all I want to do. But of course, I don't want to do it if it is 6 or less. Well, I don't want to do it if it's less than 6. Well, there's a maximum it could be. Well, if it goes any higher than 33. Then we'll make it 0. Alright, so now I set the world being offset by that amount. Is subbing it the correct thing to do? I think adding is the right thing. No, subbing is the correct thing to do. But yeah, still no joy. Freaking pain in there. What's it? Because it is all because of that offset of half the flipping screen. It works perfectly if I start the tile map at 0 on the screen memory. I could smash the computer. It's so simple in my head what needs to be done. Like, you just picture 2 of these, and we've only got the bottom half. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, caramba. Actually, we can just return. Because we don't care about the world X. If he's above the world. Would it be crazy just to do yet another one? But only on Y. Oh my god, it works. I could smash the screen, honestly. So that offset needs a little tweak. And this is going to mash the brain up when we snap. Snaps up to there. We need to times it by 2. An extra time there. But okay, that's looking good. I think I removed that offset. My brain, I do not know. I'm gonna go for 2. Oh no, I'm back up here. You gotta be kidding me. Hmm. A bit of snapping. Oh, don't like that. Yeah, it needs to be subbed by 2, doesn't it? Let's try it in our Y when we set the world. No, what's going on? That was in pixels there, you see. Oh, that's what it is. It's this freaking sub command. You're not meant to put A. Oh man, I really am gonna smash it. I don't believe it. Sugar. Thing is, you don't really want to sub there without knowing in advance that it's high enough. Let's go back to that plan. That was quite good. Oh my god, it's perfect. Right. So I guess 16 is the right answer. Oh, it's a strange one though. It's not quite. Oh, it's because of snapping, isn't it? Snapping's not active. So player world. Yeah, now player world is that's good because player world is actually like the feat by doing this. Maybe this will just work immediately. Oh, something like that. Cool, this is problematic. Finally. Whew, that was a tough task, guys. I made it a lot harder than it needed to be with a lot of stupid errors that I make all the time. The main one being I was trying to sub with A there. It's not valid. Certainly not in SJS ASM Plus anyway. It'll give you no warning or error, but it'll just subtract A from itself and then ignore what comes after it, it seems. Oh, thank goodness for that. Well, the only annoying thing is that's took me so long. I don't feel quite ready to take on the tile scrolling right now. Oh, left doesn't work as well for some reason. I wonder why not. It's a bit of a worry that left is not working. It must be something to do with the fact that they were integrated in a little bit with these. It still should have moved. It still should move left without that. Okay. Well, let's just ignore that. Let's try and make it scroll right. So that was how we did it before. It's going to be a little bit different to that now. We have to move chunks of 2 somehow. If we do that though, surely the scrolling's going to become clunky. This is a problem. I believe that what I've just created with this code here with the collision on meta is not going to work during scrolling. That extra divide that I done is making it even less accurate, if you understand. I can imagine a point where this cell is halfway between two cells. We'll just have to find out, won't we, the hard way on that, I think. See what it looks like when it's working. I still have no idea why left doesn't move him to the left. I forgot what I'm doing now. Oh, scrolling. Let's split it so we can look at that. So that looks like we'll need that still. Right, what's that next bit about then? Oh, that next bit here is just finding when we hit the end of the level, so that you can move right instead of scrolling. Of course, we're dealing in meta tiles now. This is where it is going to get complicated, because at some point we have to convert from meta tiles to proper tiles. We're already doing that on the view draw. We've done that here. But look how complicated it was. Now we're doing just one column, so we only need parts of the meta tiles. It's going to get slightly confusing, this. So that's taking care of the end of the level. Luckily all this seems about right. I'm going to use slightly different label names so that I can spot the difference nice and easily between the two. This is the scroll right function. I'm going to do SR. Put column. I can't even remember what that's doing right off the top of my head. Oh, that's just setting the scroll for the X on the tile map. Yeah, so maybe we can just move them one tile at a time in the exact same manner. Is it 128 though? We're only doing half the screen there, and we don't start there anymore. We should get a constant for that, shouldn't we? Oh, I need that. Let's put it in here. Okay. This is where it gets complicated. So still correct, but now we've only gone forward in meta tiles. I think we need to times that by 2. For this particular. We could just do it twice. So in other words, that will say 20 for the view width, but really it's 40. So I've added it twice. Not getting why he inks the offset. Oh, to scroll it, of course. This is tricky. So he's inked the offset, because this was called offset. Weird. She's moved all the cells left 1. pointed at the start of the tile at the level, moved along by the offset. For what purpose? To load it here into this top right cell. So we probably don't want to do that twice then. Do we want to ink it twice though? The offset itself. No, it's in metas. Of course, like I keep saying, the tile map is only half the screen, so we've got to forget all the background and everything. We're only drawing a column that's 8 meta tiles in height, but that's actually 16 tiles. It's still going to get very tricky because our meta tiles, they're stored like that, and we only want that and that to draw the column. Not to mention that each row is also 2, you know, so when we say 8, there's actually 2 tiles there. It wasn't like that before a minute ago when we had working code here, so it's going to get tricky. It's basically just this column loop that needs to change though here that we're getting to. So we want to go, let's just try it, let's just have a go. So I now draw columns, not really the good name. That just really means the offset's complete. This bit's actually doing the column. It's actually SR max scroll reached. SR scroll done. Scroll max. And that's the point where at the bottom here we'll reset the scroll. But not before we mess around with this column trying to get it to draw the right stuff in, which is much easier said than done. So we've got one tile. We put it into the right place. But this is where it gets very tricky. We want to go down one tile. We want to stay where we are in HL, just inking it twice. And then we've done one meta tile of height. But to get even more confusing, and it's probably, I'm not gonna get this working, I don't think, because what happens when we're the next scroll, we need another variable to know when we're in the second half of the tiles. It's going to be tricky. Alright then, so DE is our screen pointer right now. So we do want to go down one line. And is this in meta now or not? View width. I believe it's just a standard view width now. Because we've just took one tile. We haven't actually used a meta tile there. So although we're dealing with meta, it's really confusing this. I am probably making it a lot more confusing. Piggy on the barbecue. Nice one, Micro. You always get me jealous with your mega feasts. Surprised you haven't got like a full hog roast. Spindle. Meat boy. Probably did. This computer programmer I know locally, he's got an amazing house, and he's got one. I've never seen it in action. I'm not super social. I tend to sit in dark rooms coding when people are out having fun. Well, I exaggerate in there a little bit, maybe. I'm still debating whether I want to do view width or the meta width. That is the view width this time. Adding HL is the tricky part. There's ink HL twice. Not add DE. Load DE. So that's just done one tile, like the side of one tile. We need to somehow know at this point whether we're in the first half or the second half of the tile. Because it's just going to keep getting the first half of the meta tiles. Do you see what I mean? The only way I can think of doing it is having a variable to say 1 or 2, 0 or 1. Well, a bool in other words. We could use just a bit if we really wanted to. In fact, that would be really easy because we got add HLA, so we could actually have. Let's do that right now. Let's pop it here for now. Meta tile offset, for want of a better word. Either 0 or 1. So before we even do that, we'll load it. We'll add it here. I think it's going to be okay just to do that. So it's either going to get a 0 or 1. We're going to have to remember now, after we finish this entire putting of the column, we need to flip that bit. I think you can do X or 1, can't you? And it's either going to be a 1 or a 0 then. I hope that's right, because normally I check it on a calculator. Alright. Do you know what? We're close. We still need to move to a map line after we've done that. And it's... We've also got to load a HL there. And I think level width meta is adequate there. Do you know what? That's not a half bad attempt. Scroll right. It's already calling it. There must be stuff I've forgotten there. That seemed way too easy. Oh, well, it's not too bad. Collision's knackered. At least it did something. It's almost right. Let's have another slow look. Yeah, see, the first tile that comes through is okay. But then that's probably the clipped one. It's been shifted somewhat in the memory, that's all. There's like just a small calculation gone wrong. If you see, it's all lined up still, but out of line, if that makes sense. But it has drawn it like in the logical order, just in the wrong place. Ah well, it couldn't have been that easy, could it? Wonder if it has something to do with this adding. Yes, that's what it is. Because I don't want to actually add one. That's adding one meta tile. I want to... Oh, big thunder. I want to add... I basically want to ink... Oh, it's tricky this. It's really tricky. Perhaps I need to do another loop like I did. If you look where I did here, I done pass 1 and pass 2. It does work quite nice. This seemed like a cleverer way of doing it. But if I had pass 2, then I could just do specific amount of inks. Yeah, did you hear the thunder? That was a loud one, wasn't it? November thunder. Time is nigh. The second coming of Spiky. Is it? Yeah, because we always want to ink by 2. But sometimes we want to ink by 1 before we do that. That's what it is. It's an either or as well. Um, as long as that works, then this might work now. Oh, still no good. Almost exactly the same. Always sometimes. Real-time lighting map. It was freezing here the other day, but it's actually alright now. Lighting maps. It could be where I'm starting from that's the problem. I do love a good thunderstorm. Not when you're stuck out in it. Oh, look at that. That's a crazy bug. So it's heading 40, yeah? 39. Yeah, 39 is right, I think. Because I think what's happening is it's taking a tile, it's painting it in the top right, like we're telling it to, but it's not supposed to. It's supposed to find a blank there. It's close to working this, but there's a big chance that I won't get it working this evening. We don't have prairies here. We just have just crap everywhere. Motorway. We do have the moors. We do have the moors. We've got Dartmoor near me. Even that's starting to get a bit ruined now. Like they're starting to infest into there with the building and that. Are you still on your AC/DC? Yeah, the moors are pretty awesome. I'm a bit gutted here because it's so close to working that. It's very, very strange. What's going on there? Ah, is that just... That's just from where I've been hold... Them ones that look correct. They're just... They're just them there, aren't they? But they've been moved left. We shouldn't be seeing them. I don't think it's a tile map not big enough, no. I mean, it's deliberately only half the height of the screen. But I've mentioned that like maybe 50 times this video now, so I don't want to keep saying it. But... So, what's happening when we're moving them left? Here's where we do the mass copy. And I was wondering whether we had to do the meta tiles with that, but I don't think we do. We should be able to shift the tiles left. Same issue. I don't know, it's a little bit different though, because it's just the meta tiles that's causing the confusion here. And the fact that I start my level halfway down. You know, that's only half of a screen. And as you can see, it's only quarter of a screen, but then they're 2 height each. And from 0 to 7, then from 0 to 0. That's what we do for left to right, actually, previously. Here's the left, and we actually do load A and then sub B. So we go down, but that's something separate from this. I'm only going right at this moment. Hmm. Raid Fractal. I will do, mate. Yeah, will do. What's he playing? Raids are always funny on my end because I can't even see what's going on. You can't see the screen or anything. You only see the chat. It's cool though. I've got to do that. I'll have one more little crack at this. Then we'll go raid Fractal Mike. Yeah, it's a laugh, isn't it? Is he playing It's a Blast? I've never even heard of it. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with the scrolling there. It's all to do with this copying. I need that XOR cut. I just want to make sure XOR 1 is always either 0 or 1. Yeah, it is. What I'll do is I'll get rid of that. So now they're identical. I just want to see if we get it. Does it look funky what loads in now? No, it doesn't. So I'm pretty sure, like we say, we're only seeing what was already there on the screen, just shifted to the left. It should be getting overwritten in the clipping window. Let's get rid of the clipping window for a minute. What's going on there? Ah, I just remembered. With layer 2, you actually, when you use a full screen, you do need to set up a clipping and put it like that so it fills the whole screen. So that's the first tile that my code is producing up there. It's weird because I wouldn't say that's the top right of the tile map, so it is coming down slightly. Ah, I think that is garbage from the screen before coming back across. But can't be sure. I'll go get rid of that breakpoint. No, I can't figure this out. It's very tricky. Where is that breakpoint? That's done. Damn, I've just created errors. I think I undone something I didn't need to do. Yeah, so if my theory's right and we're just seeing garbage that's recycled from the left, then I should be able to just hold right and it'll just keep doing it, won't it? Whereas in my level map, it actually stops. So I think we can be pretty safe to say, oh, it has stopped though. Ooh. Not so sure now. So at least that does work, a collision right now. What are we seeing there? I will get this, but it'll probably be in the middle of the night tonight while I'm watching TV. It's just a little thing that needs changing, I bet. Yo, Ped7G. I saw you followed me on both YouTube and Twitch, so thank you for that. Good to see you in the chat. Lurkers are always welcome, as well as regular chatters, all equal to me. Somewhere when the animation starts. Sure do, sure do. Just when I mentioned that, I was starting to look at a bit of the code that was, oh yeah, it's here. It's something to do with here, I think, perhaps. This is where we're finding the right edge of the camera and moving it across one. Now, do we want to move it two? Or in fact, do we want to move it? This is in not in cells anymore. This is in meta cells. Here could be our problem. No, it's not a problem because we're looking at the level there, which is the meta level. So we're going along to the edge of the meta level. It really is confusing, yeah, but it's doable. I mean, we probably don't need to worry about this. We could start a new project tomorrow and not use meta tiles and probably still squeeze a nice game out, but Why not? If we can crack this now, doesn't mean I'm going to use it on every project, does it? But it's doubly confusing because of this scrolling routine. Like if I was using my my tile map, with the camera that draws the map every time, it extracts from the map and draws the whole screen. That would be a lot easier. Let's rock, yeah. I'll give it another 10 or 15 minutes at the very least, because I do feel like I'm on the edge of a breakthrough here. Yeah, the camera view one was good. I mean, this is still a camera view one, it's just a different way of doing it, really. But if you think about it, you've still got all these mass copies here going on. It's not like any different, really, from copying it from somewhere else, really, as far as I can tell. But my Red Dwarf approach was pretty clean. It only done this one time per frame. You know, it didn't have to LDIR loads of times. It's similar, except for this only happens on the 8th scroll, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, it just scrolls. But I probably could have incorporated that into my other game. Especially now I know about the clipping pane. It is pretty similar, isn't it? It is pretty similar. Well, in terms of like CPU, I can't see that this is much more efficient. Maybe it is though. I don't know. I remember saying that about the double buffering, and then Moz showed me how to use LDIR on just the clear screen routine, and it sped the game up by like 20 times. On the good old ZX. Yeah, the vavavoom. Imagine if they made an instruction vavavoom. I do. No, I thought it was to do with his cam edge, but I actually think that's fine because it's going to the edge of the level. The view. This should be 20 by default, and it is. I wonder when I add these. It could be something as simple as that, you know, when I'm setting cam edge. Yes, you see, I think that is part of the problem. When we scroll the first go here, first pass, we actually do not want to move the offset. That's the problem. So we want to get to there. Of course we need to ink it at some point. I actually think it might have to be down here, like straight after we've done the second column. I do feel like this music sums it up. Both are 8-bit values. Thank you for that. It's just a Z version. Both are 8-bit values. Shit, I've just forgotten what I was about to do, you know. Oh, I was about to increment that. Me too, Specky, me too. So it was here, increment cam edge by 1. Instead, we're going to do it after the second column. See, we've done it backwards from the camera approach. Now we're doing the right edge, and then we sync up the offset later somewhere else. That's what I need to check. There was a cam X bit. I'm sure there was. Here. Is it only for left we need to do that? Looks like it. Let's do it anyway. Of course it's view it meta. So not only did I add that, but I also changed where we're incrementing the camera's edge. That's still... Oh, that's strange. So now it seems to not increment at all. It's getting the same thing every time. Oh, the collision works now though. So I've sorted that problem out. Kind of. That was reading from the map, of course, so it didn't matter what was on the screen. That's a bugger, so it's not getting to there in time. Oh, yeah, it's not when we do the second column, it's when we do both columns we need to increment. No, it's not. Volume cranked up. Sugar. The problem was definitely incrementing the camera's edge. I'm trying to be clever by using that. Maybe I should have separated it and had offset as well, so we would have had, it would have been double that most of the time. This should be adequate though, but we don't want to ink it the first time we finish scrolling, because otherwise when we come to get the next tile it will be onto the next part of the map. Sounds crazy. Angry kid, I forgot all about him. So once it's scrolled as maximum as it can, it calls that. Land of the Lost. Don't think so. Don't think so. No, it looks funny though, yeah. There's a movie on it. So at this point, does the mass copy, looks up the map, moves to the right edge of the screen, not not the Will Ferrell movie. It looked funny as well. The front cover of that. Probably only because it was Ferrell. Have you ever seen Step Brothers? Boats and hoes. Boats. 1974. Oh, okay. I definitely haven't seen that. Don't forget, cam edge is always getting incremented, so we should be looking at the right edge of where the camera is, not the screen. Well, and the screen, yeah. Croft. Oh, I hate to give up without fixing it, but I would give it like 5 to 10 more minutes on this. And to answer your question, this is a 16-bit value, but with the next you can add the 8-bit amount to it. I got taught that again by eMook. It really should work. So far, so good, as far as I'm concerned. Ah, this probably needs to be done times 2. Let's do small steps at a time to see what that does. Okay. The collision still works. That's odd. Oh, I think that's because it's looking at the map. I should fall off in a minute. Maybe not. It will only add to the first byte. No, no, it's a new opcode made for the next. So I think it does just add to the 16-bit value in HL with some fancy trickery. It is like that, mate. It is. I think that helped. So B, that means put column. Yeah, so it needed to be the full amount in tiles, not meta right now. Oh no, it needed to be a meta. I tell a lie. Because we'd actually do 2 tiles per loop. So during this loop, We take from the level and put it on the screen. View width. Is this the cookie? I believe it should be width, the proper width of the screen in tiles, not in meta, but let's just check it. Clutching at straws now, but yeah, so that's buggered it up completely. I find it weird how the collision continues to work. So we've moved down one actual tile line. Just down one. We've inked two. So that's taken us to this one. Wait, it was a 3. Oh, look at that. Oh, wait, no, wait. Tile 3, of course. So it should be getting a 6 and a 38, and then a 7 and a 39. It's really tricky to visualize it, isn't it? So you imagine you're at the edge of the screen here. This is your next tile. So obviously we're starting here first. Should find 4 blanks. I'm definitely right. It's that and that is the 2 left ones, and then that and that are the 2 right internal tiles. Ah, we'll need to add that again. Oh my god. Is that good? Oh my god. I hope it was. I think I do need... That's definitely going to help, but I don't know if that's going to fix it. You smell the barbecue. Nice. Oh, now what's going on? How is that still colliding? If it was working from the map here, it should eventually get to these zeros. Pretty quickly. Hmm. So I'd say it's not working. Something's buggering that up in my code. For both the collision and the drawing. I wonder if I just comment all that out. So it just rolls the screen like that. Huh. Now we are just seeing a repeat. Crazy. Well, it's a long way off working, but this highlighted bit here, it's easier said than done, but that's the bit that needs fixing by the looks of it. Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to, mate. Trust me, I am. This happens here only when the scroll has done its, 0 to 7. I mean, I haven't changed that from the working version, so I'm going to just assume it works. So then this occurs. I wonder, is this too much? Because we're only using half the screen. No, it's not. Oh, actually. Yeah, it is. We need to divide that by 2, probably. When it's 8, it's done, yeah, but... I don't know. That's actually a dodgy command there. Because you could call that, which actually does set scroll to 0. But then, if you happen to not have if you have something different in A, it's going to load that into scroll. Do you know what? We don't actually need that there anymore. Because my scroll always ends in resetting the scroll there. Oh, I know why he's put that there. Okay. Where is it? So we'll just do it there instead. Because even if it does get set as 8, it's going to get set to 0 in that. But I've just divided this by 2. I hope I didn't delete some other stuff though that I needed. Where am I now inking the here after the second column? Quite like that. That seems alright to me. Oh no. What the heck's going on with that? I mean, at least it's painting something over the other tiles now. Most of them. Well, yeah, all of them. I reckon it's just drawing the wrong ones. Let me have another look. When we're getting the map, we're moving by the offset. Goes down a line there. That should work, shouldn't it? I don't know what's wrong with that. So we load HL with meta level. We go forward in HL by the amount where the right edge of the camera is. So we're at the very right edge cell. This is loading DE with the start of the screen memory plus 39. So we're in the right cell of the where the world tile map begins. That's setting an iterator, so we only do it 8 times. That's checking whether we've already done one iteration or not. If we haven't, we go to this one. We take from the map, put it on the screen. Go forward 40. Which is dead on, because we're dealing with cells in DE. Nothing to do with meta tiles. Ink that to the... So we're in the, like, the, you know, element number 3. Looks good to me. And down another line. Down an actual line on the map. I really can't see how that doesn't work. That shouldn't have been commented out. Hasn't done hardly anything though. That was a nice one, man. Yeah, I was trying to talk it through, but it's a strange one. It is a strange one. Because you have to have been listening to what I was saying to understand what I was just on about just then, if you know what I mean. Because you've got to wonder why I'm starting at 4280, but I'm assuming you know that at this point. It's halfway down the screen. Maybe I should have put them all to 0 and just lived with it at the top half while I was doing all of this. Just would have had one less thing to confuse us. I believe that's correct now, being divided by 2. Let's just put the value it should be. I'm not sure, but I think they're even off weird parts of the tile map then. Like the tile definitions. Things that are being drawn there. I think it would be definitely worth making some boring tiles that were just like numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, so you could see them. And just make a level with them, you know. It would make life a lot easier. Yeah, to see what had gone wrong. So maybe I'll do that for tomorrow. I'll make a tile sheet that is just literally a load of numbers in the tiles. Problem is, it gets hard to try. I went up. I made loads of numbers earlier, up to like 20, or I think up to 40. But it was nowhere near enough, and I got bored. It was pretty tricky to squeeze the numbers in. I started thinking it wasn't worth it, but it'd be good to be able to number every single 8 by 8 cell. Of course, I could use hex as well. It'd be quite easier to fit the numbers in. Yeah, the HUD was on the radar to do, for want of a better pun, but I've gone off the HUD because of that list thing. If we learn to use these, they're pretty foolproof, aren't they? We can see that exact value. So I think there's probably not worth actually making a HUD just to display the numbers. I used to want to do that, but now, yeah. I mean, if you can think of a number we should monitor here to help, then tell me and I can check it. I suppose no, it wouldn't. I was going to say you might want to print what was in, say, HL. Push for now. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Yeah, it is a worthwhile suggestion. But I just never... I keep forgetting about that list thing. You know, we can look up the variables and just monitor them. Which is brilliant. Got to use that more often. But I don't see here where to do it. What I'd want to do with it. I can already see what the values should be. Surely they're not going to be... You know, I load them and then I use them. So you can keep track of what they are just by looking at them. In my opinion, if you know what I mean. So... I'm sure there is a way, like checking one of these registers. My brain just can't figure it out. But I'm at that stage where I'm looking at it and thinking, it should work. Yeah, true that. I do get the moments in the middle of the night where I just decide to jump into the code and I see exactly the problem. But I don't think it's going to be like that for this one. This is going to take some effort. I'll probably have to delete, you know, this whole thing here and try again. That pseudo coding does help a lot. Sometimes just writing it in comments. But even here, for this, I don't think it'll work. It's just so complicated to try and write out what you need to do. It's sad to end on a losing note, but it's probably a good time to raid Fractal if he's still online. Do you know if he is? I'll try to sort that out now. Because it'll probably just be another half hour of me going, Yeah, I'll try and figure it out now. Well, when I say figure it out, I mean, I load the Twitch, and it keeps telling me, failed to load this module and all this crap. Let's get him. Let's go. Four viewers are ready to raid. Let's go, boys. Well done. Nice. Doubled his viewers up.
Why didn't you raise him? Why didn't you bet a lot more? Yeah, it's a robot gambling game.
My hand is statistically a likely victor. However, it can be beaten.
You should beat them by bluffing.
I do not understand bluffing.
This is so weird. Bluffing is when you overbet to fool your opponents.
It is deceitful.
Part of the game is luck, but bluffing requires skill.
But luck is the nature of this game. Bluffing simply breaks the rules to circumvent luck. If you wish to win by skill, you could keep track of which cards were drawn and discarded.
That's called counting cards.
It would be an effective...
Hey Microman, good to see ya. Wow. It's been a while since I've caught up with you. The streams have been on at inconvenient times for me to catch up with lately on Retrocoder TV, so it's data from Star Trek. Yeah, this whole game's full of datas from Star Trek. Who would robots gamble? Are they malfunctioning? Yeah, I don't know. They're experimenting with a human game. Very weird. It's against the rules.
Rules. Yes, we know rules. There are 3 of them in the city. Would you like to know about them?
I already do. No, I just want to know why you waste your time this way.
Very well. If we can be of no further assistance to you, we would very much like to continue our evaluation of this game.
How long have you been playing?
Robot City is a utopian terminus for humans. You arrive, you live a full life, and then your nutrients are released to the general inventory. Probably the galaxy's most efficient life cycle model. It is not necessary to have a way out.
That wasn't an answer to a question that I clicked on, was it? Really very interesting. I have to go now.
And we bid you good day.
Do androids dream of electric sheep is definitely good. It gave us Blade Runner. Okay, we're in Sector 6 now, and I didn't intend to come here, but I'm here. I wanted to go back to my apartment so I could check my messages. Oh,
Derek,
here we go.
I'm in the upper compass tower outside Avery's office. I'm trapped. There's a killer robot coming up here trying to get to me. It's a new kind I haven't seen before.
Oh.
I need your help, but you'll have to be careful. Maybe I can get that door open and escape.